My fellow Americans, there comes a time in the life of every nation when we are called upon to reflect upon our past, to seek the truths hidden within our history, and to face the mysteries that have shaped our journey. Today, we stand at such a crossroads. It is with this spirit of inquiry and dedication to understanding that I invite you to embark on a journey through the shadows of our shared history. Together, we will explore events that have long stirred debate and curiosity, events that call for clarity and comprehension. In the pursuit of truth, we strengthen the very foundations of our democracy. Let us question boldly, learn earnestly, and seek not only answers but understanding. For it is through knowledge that we empower ourselves and ensure the prosperity of future generations. Join me as we delve into the annals of history, uncovering the facts, the fables, and everything they didn't tell you. Together, we can illuminate the dark corners of our past and step forward into a brighter future. Thank you, and God bless you all.
November 22nd, 1963. A day etched in history. The world stood still, aghast at the unfolding tragedy. The sun shone brightly upon Dallas, Texas. Yet, fate had a cruel twist. President John F. Kennedy, the youthful leader, was making his way through the throngs. His motorcade moved along the route. A storm was brewing. The air crackled with anticipation. Crowds cheered, waving American flags. Children perched on their parents' shoulders. Hope and optimism filled the air. A moment destined to be shattered. Gunshots pierced the air. Pandemonium ensued. The world watched in horror. President Kennedy struck down in his prime. The young leader was gone. The assassination sent shockwaves across the globe. A stark reminder of life's fragility. The world mourned the loss of a visionary leader. Questions lingered, unanswered. The assassination remains significant and controversial. A story shrouded in mystery, a tale that continues to captivate and haunt us. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, a name synonymous with hope, ambition, and a vision for a brighter future. Born into a wealthy and influential family, Kennedy's path seemed destined for greatness. He exuded charisma, intelligence, and a charm that captivated a nation. His presidency, though tragically cut short, left an indelible mark on America and the world. Kennedy's New Frontier program embodied his ambitious agenda. He challenged Americans to reach for the stars, literally and figuratively. His vision extended beyond the confines of Earth, setting his sights on landing a man on the moon before the decade's end. Beyond the stars, Kennedy tackled social issues with a fervor rarely seen before. He championed civil rights, pushing for equality and justice for all Americans. His eloquence and passion resonated with millions. Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Kennedy understood the power of words. His speeches were more than just pronouncements. They were calls to action, stirring the hearts and minds of listeners worldwide. His famous words still resonate today. They are a testament to his belief in the power of collective action. Kennedy's legacy is a complex tapestry woven with triumphs and tragedies. He embodied the American dream, yet his life was cut short by an act of senseless violence. His assassination left a void in the hearts of millions. It forced a nation to confront its own demons. The assassination of JFK was not just a tragedy, it was a catalyst. It sparked a firestorm of questions, doubts, and conspiracy theories that continue to burn bright today. The official investigation, led by the Warren Commission, concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in killing the president. However, many remain unconvinced. The Warren Commission's findings have been disputed by historians, researchers, and amateur sleuths alike. Inconsistencies in the evidence, conflicting witness testimonies, and the sheer audacity of the assassination have fueled countless alternative theories. Some believe Oswald was part of a larger conspiracy. Others point fingers at the Mafia, the CIA, or even foreign governments. The passage of time has done little to quell the thirst for answers. If anything, the mystery surrounding JFK's assassination has only deepened. I'm just a patsy. The events of that fateful day in Dallas continue to grip our collective imagination. They serve as a stark reminder that some wounds even time cannot heal. This essay will delve into the intricate web of events surrounding the JFK assassination. We will examine the key players, analyze the evidence, and explore the various theories that have been put forth over the years. The morning of November 22, 1963, dawned bright and clear in Dallas. The Texas sun cast a warm glow on the city, a stark contrast to the chilling events that would soon unfold. President Kennedy and First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy arrived at Love Field, greeted by cheering crowds eager to catch a glimpse of the glamorous couple. The president, radiating his trademark charm, worked the crowd, shaking hands and exchanging greetings. The motorcade, a long procession of sleek, dark cars, snaked its way through the heart of Dallas. Thousands lined the streets, their faces a mixture of excitement and anticipation. American flags fluttered in the breeze, a symbol of unity and national pride. For a brief moment, all seemed right in the world. The president, seated alongside his wife in the open-top limousine, smiled and waved at the adoring crowds. The atmosphere crackled with energy, a collective sense of hope and optimism. The motorcade proceeded along Main Street, the towering buildings of downtown Dallas casting long shadows across the route. The president's limousine, a symbol of power and prestige, stood out amidst the entourage. It was a moment frozen in time, captured in countless photographs and home videos. The world watched, captivated by the spectacle of American democracy on display. Little did anyone know, those images would soon become iconic, forever linked to a national tragedy. As the motorcade approached Dealey Plaza, the mood remained festive. Crowds cheered, their voices echoing through the plaza. Section 2, the turning point. The motorcade slowed as it made its way around the curve onto Elm Street. The Texas School Book Depository loomed ahead. At approximately 12:30 p.m., the first shot rang out. The sharp crack of gunfire silenced the cheering crowds. The president's body jerked violently. Panic erupted in the crowd. The limousine raced towards Parkland Memorial Hospital. The assassination sent shockwaves through the nation and the world. Section 3. A city in shock. Dallas, once a vibrant hub, transformed into a city in mourning. The streets, once filled with cheering crowds, stood eerily empty. Flags flew at half-mast, a symbol of the nation's grief. The world watched in stunned silence as the news unfolded. At Parkland Memorial Hospital, doctors worked tirelessly to save President Kennedy. But the damage was too severe. The young president was pronounced dead at 1 p.m. Walter Cronkite delivered the news, sending shockwaves through the nation. People wept openly in the streets, united in grief. Schools closed, businesses shut down, and the nation came to a standstill. The assassination was a loss felt deeply across the globe. Whispers of conspiracy. Whispers of conspiracy began to circulate. The official narrative did little to quell disbelief and suspicion. The circumstances seemed to defy logic. Oswald's arrest deepened the mystery. He proclaimed his innocence.
"I'm just a patsy!"
His words added fuel to the fires of conspiracy. The assassination shattered the nation's innocence. The world watched in horror and suspicion. The search for answers began, but the truth remained elusive. The man who dreamed of the stars. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, a name synonymous with charisma, vision, and youthful idealism. Born into privilege, Kennedy's charm and intellect set him apart. His path led inevitably to the Oval Office. As the 35th president, Kennedy embodied a nation's aspirations. His new frontier was a call to action, pushing boundaries. He dared Americans to dream big, igniting a spirit of exploration. His vision set in motion the race to the moon. But Kennedy was more than a visionary. He was a man of the people. He understood the power of connection, reaching out to everyday Americans. His speeches resonated with a nation hungry for inspiration. His words sparked a belief in a brighter future. His presidency, though short, left an undeniable mark. Kennedy recognized the need for diplomacy in a nuclear world. He navigated the Cold War, advocating for peaceful coexistence. His assassination was a stark reminder of the fragility of peace. A life mired in shadows. Lee Harvey Oswald, a name forever etched in history, synonymous with infamy and conspiracy. Born into a world far removed from Kennedy's, Oswald's life was a study in contrasts. His path, marked by military service, defection, and radical politics, painted a troubled picture. Was he a lone wolf or a pawn in a larger game? The evidence, while circumstantial, painted a compelling picture. His presence at the Texas School Book Depository and erratic behavior pointed towards guilt, yet doubts lingered. His murder by Jack Ruby silenced him forever, robbing the world of his side of the story. The enigma of Lee Harvey Oswald continues to fascinate and frustrate. The assassination of John F. Kennedy was not a solitary act confined to a lone gunman. It was a tragedy on a grand stage with a cast of characters whose lives intersected with Kennedy and Oswald. Their stories offer glimpses into the human toll of that fateful day. Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis became an icon of strength and resilience. Her blood-stained pink suit a haunting reminder of the violence. Her commitment to preserving her husband's legacy inspired generations. Lyndon B. Johnson found himself thrust into the presidency. Sworn in just hours after Kennedy's death, he inherited a nation in mourning. Johnson's presidency would be forever linked to the legacy of his predecessor. Jack Ruby etched his name into history with a single impulsive act. His shooting of Lee Harvey Oswald shocked the nation. Was he a grief-stricken citizen or a mob-connected figure? Ruby's motivations remain a subject of debate to this day. The air crackled with tension as news of the assassination spread like wildfire. The world held its breath, united in disbelief and horror. Amidst the chaos, a desperate search for the gunman began. One name emerged: Lee Harvey Oswald. A former Marine with Soviet ties, Oswald's background raised red flags. The manhunt culminated in a dramatic confrontation at the Texas theater. Oswald, apprehended, reportedly uttered. His declaration deepened the mystery, fueling conspiracy theories. The news of President Kennedy's death, delivered by a visibly shaken Walter Cronkite, sent shockwaves through the nation and the world. A collective gasp of disbelief, followed by an outpouring of grief, swept across the globe. The world mourned the loss of a young and charismatic leader. Across America, flags flew at half-mast, a somber symbol of the nation's collective grief. The streets, once alive with energy, now stood eerily empty, the silence broken by church bells. The world watched in stunned silence as America mourned its fallen leader. The assassination of John F. Kennedy transcended national boundaries, touching a nerve in humanity's collective consciousness. Even as the nation mourned, a seed of doubt began to take root. The official narrative that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone seemed too simple. Whispers of conspiracy began to circulate, fueled by inconsistencies and unanswered questions. The Warren Commission concluded Oswald acted alone, but their findings amplified rumors. Critics pointed to inconsistencies and the lack of a clear motive. The assassination became fertile ground for conspiracy theories. The nation's innocence was shattered, replaced by deep-seated cynicism and suspicion. The assassination of John F. Kennedy left an indelible mark on the nation's psyche, its shadow stretching far beyond Dealey Plaza. The young president became a martyr to some, a victim of conspiracy to others. His legacy intertwined with the specter of violence and mystery. The assassination had a profound impact on American society, eroding trust in government and fueling cynicism. It ignited a national obsession with conspiracy theories, a thirst for uncovering hidden truths, and it left behind a legacy of unanswered questions. a mystery that continues to haunt the American consciousness. The assassination of President John F. Kennedy sent shockwaves through the nation and the world. The vibrant young leader, a symbol of hope and progress, was gone. A collective cry for answers echoed across the land. Who was responsible for this heinous act? President Lyndon B. Johnson took decisive action. He established the Warren Commission to investigate the events of November 22, 1963. The commission embarked on a mission of unprecedented scope and scrutiny. Their task to sift through evidence and interview witnesses. They analyzed forensic evidence and reconstructed Oswald's movements. Their findings would shape the narrative of the assassination for decades. At the heart of the Warren Commission's findings lay a controversial hypothesis known as the single bullet theory. This theory posited that a single bullet, fired from Oswald's rifle, passed through President Kennedy's neck before striking Governor John Connally. The single bullet theory quickly became a lightning rod for controversy. Critics argued that the theory defied the laws of physics. The debate over the single bullet theory became a focal point of the larger debate over the Warren Commission's findings. Section 3. Lingering Doubts, the Warren Commission's Legacy. In September 1964, after 10 months of investigation, the Warren Commission released its report. The report concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in assassinating President Kennedy. The commission found no evidence of a wider conspiracy. Critics argued that the commission failed to address crucial aspects of the case. Polls show that a majority of Americans do not believe Oswald acted alone. The truth remains elusive, fueling endless speculation. Section 1. A New Generation, Renewed Doubts. As the 1960s gave way to the 1970s, the assassination of John F. Kennedy remained a festering wound. A new generation began to ask uncomfortable questions, fueled by a growing distrust of government. The Watergate scandal further eroded public trust in government institutions. In 1976, the House Select Committee on Assassinations, HSCA, was formed to re-examine the assassinations of Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr. The HSCA's formation marked a turning point, acknowledging that serious questions remained unanswered. Section 2. Beyond the single bullet acoustic evidence and the second gunman. The HSCA took a far more expansive approach to its investigation. One compelling piece of evidence was an audio recording from a Dallas Police Department motorcycle. Acoustic experts concluded that 4 shots had been fired, not 3. If 4 shots were fired, the single bullet theory would be untenable, suggesting a second gunman. The HSCA concluded that the evidence strongly suggested a conspiracy. In 1979, the HSCA released its final report, challenging the Warren Commission's findings. The HSCA concluded that President Kennedy was probably assassinated as a result of a conspiracy. The committee suggested that organized crime was a likely suspect. Despite its groundbreaking conclusions, the HSCA's report failed to provide definitive answers. The question of who killed Kennedy and why remained shrouded in speculation and doubt. The HSCA's findings shattered the official narrative, lending credence to suspicions of a cover-up. The assassination of Kennedy remains an open wound, its mystery rekindled. The assassination of John F. Kennedy has spawned countless theories, including the notion that the Mafia played a role. The Mafia had ample reason to despise the Kennedy brothers, who had declared war on the mob. Proponents of the Mafia theory point to connections and coincidences suggesting mob involvement. Jack Ruby, who shot Oswald, had ties to organized crime. Carlos Marcello, a powerful Mafia boss, reportedly boasted of orchestrating the assassination. The Mafia theory, while lacking definitive proof, continues to intrigue. The image of mob bosses plotting the assassination has become a staple of popular culture. The CIA, shrouded in secrecy, has long been a subject of fascination and suspicion. In the aftermath of the Kennedy assassination, the CIA quickly became a focal point of suspicion. Kennedy had clashed with the CIA, vowing to splinter the agency. Proponents of the CIA theory point to suspicious deaths and disappearances involving individuals with ties to the intelligence community. The CIA's potential role in the assassination remains a deeply unsettling possibility. The agency's penchant for operating in the shadows makes it a convenient scapegoat for those seeking explanations. Section 3. Foreign Actors' Cold War Intrigue. The assassination of John F. Kennedy occurred at the height of the Cold War. Some saw the hand of foreign enemies in Kennedy's assassination. Lee Harvey Oswald had a well-documented history of pro-Soviet sympathies. Cuba under Fidel Castro was another prime suspect. The theory of foreign involvement, while lacking definitive proof, tapped into the anxiety and mistrust of the Cold War era. Section 4. Lone gunman or coordinated plot. Dissecting the possibilities. The assassination of John F. Kennedy continues to spark debate and speculation, its legacy a tangled web of unanswered questions and conspiracy theories. Was it the act of a lone gunman or a coordinated plot? The Warren Commission concluded Oswald acted alone, but skepticism remains. The HSCA suggested a conspiracy, but couldn't identify the culprits. The debate over the lone gunman versus conspiracy theories will likely continue for generations. The truth remains tantalizingly out of reach, a puzzle that may never be fully solved. Section 1. The Missing Brain and Other Medical Mysteries. The assassination of President John F. Kennedy was a national tragedy and a crime scene of immense historical significance. Every detail, every piece of evidence, carried the weight of potential revelation. Central to the medical mysteries is the curious case of President Kennedy's missing brain. Following the autopsy, the president's brain was removed for further examination. However, the brain mysteriously disappeared from the National Archives in the late 1960s. The disappearance of such crucial evidence has deepened the intrigue and suspicion surrounding the assassination. Section 2. Whispers of a cover-up, silenced witnesses and vanished files. The assassination of President Kennedy has become fertile ground for conspiracy theories. One theory suggests a powerful cabal has silenced witnesses and destroyed evidence. Many connected to the assassination died under mysterious circumstances. Jack Ruby, who shot Oswald, died in prison, fueling more speculation. Key documents related to the assassination have vanished, adding to the intrigue. Section 3. The Babushka Lady and Other Unidentified Figures. The assassination of President Kennedy, captured from multiple angles, has provided a wealth of visual evidence. Yet some figures remain unidentified, their presence a tantalizing enigma. The most enduring mystery is the Babushka Lady. This unknown woman with a headscarf appears in several photographs holding a camera. Despite attempts, her identity remains a mystery. Another intriguing figure is Badge Man. Seen in the Moorman photograph, his identity and role remain unknown. These unidentified figures add to the mystique of the Kennedy assassination. Were they bystanders or did they play a significant role? The answers remain elusive, lost in the shadows of history. Section 1. The Enduring Enigma. The assassination of John F. Kennedy remains one of the most defining moments in modern history. The images of that day in Dallas, the motorcade, the gunshots, The stunned silence that followed are seared into the collective memory, a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of the unknown. Despite decades of investigation, the truth about what happened in Dealey Plaza remains elusive. The official narrative that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone has failed to quell doubts. Many believe a more sinister truth lies hidden beneath the surface. Section 2. A Legacy of Questions. The assassination of John F. Kennedy was more than just a tragedy. It was a turning point in American history. In the aftermath, a sense of cynicism and disillusionment set in, with unanswered questions and a relentless pursuit of truth. The assassination remains a mystery, a story that transcends time, its themes of power and secrecy as relevant today. As we reflect on Kennedy's legacy, we are left with more questions than answers.